Hi, I'm Beth Journay with the Greater Angleton Chamber of Commerce, and we are very fortunate to have George Phillips here, who is running for Alderman, Danbury City Council. Welcome, George. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so George, I have several questions for you. You
All right.
ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, first question. Tell us about yourself and why is it a good idea for us to vote for you for City Council in Danbury? What useful experience, knowledge, or perspective do you bring to this office?
I am a businessman. First of all, worked for a public corporation from 1971 till 87, and from 87 till I sold out to a public company, another public company. I had my own business in Baytown. I feel like you get things done, and you have to be able to interpret the numbers in the reports and make some reasonable decisions. I think that applies a lot to City Council, and this may be a plus or a minus. I've served on council for 8 years, and just on the job training, I know kind of how to read the reports, where the skeletons are buried and so forth.
Okay, good deal. Okay, second question. What leadership skills do or would you bring to the City Council if elected or re-elected? Of course, in your situation, re-elected. And what is the toughest group you have ever had to lead?
I think I can work with people. I don't have to be right every time, as long as it doesn't violate a basic integrity or law. Everybody's entitled to opinion, and I will probably be pretty firm in mine, but I can accept others. And as far as, this is going to be maybe not a good answer, but probably the roughest group I ever had to lead was as church treasurer of a pretty good sized church that ran a couple $1 million a year in the budget. Everybody has an opinion in that.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, George. And I might say too, I meant to say before we started that sometimes these questions will seem a little bit repetitive, and we apologize for that, but just want to get and give to everyone who watches a good idea of who you are and what you bring to the office. Okay, question number 3. What skills, qualities, or experience do you possess that separate you from your opponent or opponents?
Well, I'm not sure how much it separates, but it's a lot of what I answered in the first question. The city, in the general, is run like a business. It's got some different regulations and laws and state requirements that have been put in to protect the citizens from the evil city, and probably needs a good idea in some cases. It does make it a little awkward just because of the sequence that has to come through. It doesn't move as smoothly as I would like to see it, but that's
on the people.
Yeah, and that's on the same side. When you run a business, it's yours. Mm-hmm. When you run a city, it's theirs, and you've got to look out for all the people, not just what you think is good, but what some other people that may differ from you but are citizens, even again up to the point of integrity and morals.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, thank you, George. Number 4, if elected, what do you hope to accomplish during your term in office?
To continue to improve our streets. I'm going to look a minute at my notes because I tend to ramble otherwise. To improve our fresh water, to work with various organizations, and this is another of those things that's going to be repeated. The little town big heart is that, but it truly is that, and it's because of the volunteers and all the different organizations, and working with them as a can instead of a can't process to get things done.
Absolutely. Okay, number 5. What do you see as Danbury's greatest challenges in the next decade, and how can you, as an elected official, help face or be prepared for those challenges?
Well, one of the things we're going to face, which is pretty specific, is by the TCEQ regulations, we're going to have to renovate our water tower and that although it may sound like get up there with a paintbrush and fix it, that's an expensive thing. There's
sure.
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And we're trying to get in a position to have the hundreds of thousands of dollars when they insist. They've mentioned but haven't insisted.
Okay.
We're prepared to,
But you know it's coming.
we know it's coming, and then by 2023, we'll pay off all our indebtedness. We've had a kind of a rough road to hoe with the, but again, back to the state laws, the way the tax is, you can't just pay off the indebtedness and okay, we finally got that paid for, we can start setting a little aside for other things. You can't do that. You know, it's either for maintenance and operations or for debt service. It's about half and half.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see it, we can work in a position where we have enough reserve and equipment that whatever we have to have, that in 2023, we won't have to have another bond election to fill the thing, and that we can continue to operate, give the people a tax reduction, probably not by the total amount of the debt service, because there is stuff that will be building up that really probably needed doing, but again, I'm sort of a don't borrow money if you don't have to. So my hope is that we'll be able to give a pretty significant tax cut. We, the city, I probably won't be there, but a significant tax cut in 2023, and yet continue to take care of the things that need doing.
Awesome. Okay. How important is it for the city to purchase items and services from local vendors? How committed to the shop local motto are you, and what have you done to encourage the city and its citizens to keep their tax dollars in Brazoria County?
Well, in Danbury, we've only got 2 restaurants, 1 kolache shop, and two eating places, and I mean 2 stores, the food market and Dollar General. We have tried to be, by consciously decision, to be user friendly to them, and if we can buy the city supplies there, we do. Gasoline, office, you know, what limited amount of office supplies that we can get from, you know, envelopes, cleaning supplies, and so forth, from Dollar General. And in general, just my attitude is, I'd rather stay home than drive to Angleton. Excuse me for.
It's all right. It's okay.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. All right. How would you describe the city of Danbury to a business prospect looking at the possibility of relocating to that city?
Well, I don't see a big opportunity for a large company to come there. Again, back to the state laws, we're a general law city. You can't annex property, you can't, you know, make special zones and so forth that a bigger town can. But back to the same, we'll be user friendly. Well, that's kind of how we got Dollar General. You know, we're not trying to give you so many regulations and zoning laws. You can't do it. And the same way with people that are building a home or, you know, just a small,
Even a subdivision would be considered a business.
But we can't do that. I hate to say that, but we can't do that. We can't annex the property. If we would, I'd love to work with somebody about developing one out there. The only way we can annex property is by their request, and all the people in it have to agree.
Right.
So, you know, there's a vacant lot, you know, scattered lots is about all the opportunity for it. But we filled quite a few of those, and we have, I think, been user friendly, not beating them over the head with the regulations. They've complied with them, but not just, you know, you might not all do that. You know, it's been more of a, we can figure something out on that. Yeah, we can work that out.
Awesome. Okay, how important do you think the attitude of city leaders to economic development?
Well, that's almost a repeat of the answer. It may not be the same question, but, you know, there have been cases where people were looking for a reason not to do something, or a way not to let it happen instead of a way for it to happen. And I think the city, the heart of the city there is gonna be directed by however the people, and there's another question you're gonna ask in a minute that I'll get more into that.
Okay, all right. Do you think it is important to watch other cities or communities and learn from what they are doing, what works and doesn't work?
Yes. I try to attend most of the Brazoria County Council of Cities meetings, and I have, made at least speaking acquaintances with several of those people, and I can think of 3 different things that we were needing to do, or how do we do, and I've called West Columbia and Oyster Creek and Richwood and Clute for people that I had met through that, and additionally, being a country boy from West Texas, I'm still in touch with some of the people in 2 of those towns out there, and I have called both of them at least one time each.
That's awesome.
About an ordinance they had that we needed maybe some guidance on.
All right. In your discussions with voters, what concern or issue has been raised that has surprised you the most?
And I really don't have a good answer for that, I guess.
And that's okay. That's a good thing.
Well, there's a lot of things come up that, but none that really, I try to listen. Sometimes we can fix it, and sometimes the answer is I can't fix it.
Sure.
But I don't know if there's been any really outrageous suggestions.
Okay. So what are your top 3 goals if elected or re-elected to this position?
Pave more roads, continue to improve our customer service by all the employees. I've talked to a couple of people about coming in and doing a customer service training for all our employees. We've been through some turnover and had some issues that we had to
I
solve.
know a really good person if you know.
Okay. And let's see, I had a third item. What was it? Oh, be proactive to what's out there, like the water tower project. Not come up here the morning the TCQ says either fix this or we're going to shut your old operation down.
Right.
Know it's there. Start working towards what grants there are that might help it. Gathering up our money in our little piggy bank and all the places it's going to take to where we don't have to go out there and make a loan.
Okay.
Or in other items,
Right.
similar items. There are others out there.
And other than that, George, do you have any other comments?
Well, I would say that we've had a cooperative mayor and city council these last 2 years. I think we've worked together with each other, with the citizens of the community, the volunteers, the officers of those groups, the school, and in the process in the last 2 years, and I wrote this down so I've got to look, we have paved 3.7 miles of streets in combination with cooperation of the county and the state. We've stabilized the police force and have it in an improving mode. And we've continued to improve and prepare on our water and sewer plants. And completed the public bathroom there in the park. And they've done quite a bit of work out at the ballparks, mostly by volunteers, but again, not can't. There have been times that, oh, I don't think we ought to do that. No, you shouldn't do that. We need to approve that. Well, we do need to approve it. Both of those are owned by the city, but they're also not budgeted for maintenance by the city. And without the help of the maintenance of the volunteers, we wouldn't have any bathroom and we wouldn't have a parking lot at the ball field and the decent, I like to think nice, but at least decent facilities out at the ball field. Dugouts, concession stands, the fields themselves, fences and so forth.
Well, that's awesome, George. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here today, but most of all, thank you for being willing to put your hat in the ring to be a public servant for the city of Danbury. Thank you.
Thank you.